Good evening, guys. It is July 13th, 2020. I am doing an episode today touching on the base of putting your tenants to work. So, on today's episode, I'm going to basically touch on the episode of just um, talking about putting my tenant to work. Basically, putting myself out there. But we do have a special guest by the name of Mr. Jose. If you want to just give a shout out to anyone by any chance?
What's going on, guys? Good evening. This is Jose, aka DJ Kusanagi, and I'm here with you guys tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on board. By the way, man, I had no idea that you also. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I also like to DJ, man. I love playing music and different genres and this and that, man. So when I seen your Facebook, you posting shirts, tagging everybody, putting yourself out there, I was like, wow, that's pretty good, man. That's something that I can relate to, man. So again, appreciate you for coming on board, man.
Hey, thank you, guys, man. I'm proud to be here. Anytime. I'm down.
Yeah, that's
Appreciate
cool.
it.
No problem, man. No problem. Basically, like I said, I wanted to name this episode "Putting Your Tenants Out to Work." But basically, there's a lot of people, including myself, who basically, well, first of all, anybody that's following me, they know that I've been drawing since I was a little kid. And then I also wanted to say that I was always afraid of taking that step forward to where I thought that maybe my art was not good enough. But as you all guys know, well, at least not everybody, but most of the people that know me, they've seen my art. They were like, man, you should do something with this, man. And I never really tried much, but I did invest in selling shirts. So I did. There was one time where I spent at least, I just want to guess, maybe about, I want to say maybe about $1,000, $2,000
Oh, wow.
on equipment. I don't know if you guys know what a heat press is, or
Oh,
the
yeah.
audience. I used to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that, man, and I was like, I bought one that was like 24 by 36, kind of big.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and I used to, I mean, I remember I bought a printer for $400. I mean, I'm telling you, I spent money on just having the equipment, but I never knew how to mess with it because I didn't even research. Because I know there's screen printers. I didn't know that at the time. There's the DTG printing, which is direct to garment. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
research none of that. I went the easy way out, and I used to follow a guy on YouTube. I can't even tell you what the name of his channel is, but he had a heat press, and he was like going the cheap route, the cheap way around. But anyway, I gave up Jose because I would always take my shirts, my designs that were already printed. I mean, it basically comes down to the investment, man. Like, I'll spend all this money, and I had like different designs. Maybe had like 10 different designs printed on shirts, and and I didn't. And I would think about where to sell it from. I would post on Facebook, put it on, off-road marketplace, this and that. But I didn't really. I mean, that by itself is a job. All the marketing, all the advertising, that was a job. Like, going to just, if you had to drive to somebody, you would still basically losing gas to get that. So that's like, because I didn't really do the shipping and all that, packaging and all that. I just did the local selling. But that's where you come in, Jose. Basically, I'm telling you that I never took the next step, man. I was doing everything locally, man. I was always afraid of losing, not losing, but like doing the extra work. You need to have somebody to ship and package and all that. So tell me a little bit about you, Jose. How did you get started with selling shirts in general, man? Did you consider
Um,
yourself an artist? Or how did you go
yeah,
about that?
I do. I'm actually I started drawing when I was a kid as well. Um, I don't even recall, maybe the second, third grade. Started getting very good all the way up until high school, and then maybe my early 20s I started painting. But then I stopped. I don't know. I just stopped doing it, and so it's the old saying: if you don't use it, you lose it. I don't think I'm bad now. I think I'm still pretty good, but not at your level, of course.
Well,
But
I never really seen a lot of your work, man. My also input would be to other people out there. I don't also want to just talk about t-shirt tennis. I'm talking about anything in general. So go ahead, Jose. Keep going.
oh yeah. So go on what you're talking about. It happens. A lot of the times, people sometimes feel like, oh, if I have this great idea and this great product, I'm gonna become rich. But it's not. That's like the first thing that comes to play. The work really comes into hustling, putting your name out there, talking to people. I remember when I was younger, I used to hate sales and I didn't care for sales, but for some reason, I always got into sales. I always dealt with sales, and now I have realized that that has helped me because it it makes it easy for me to talk to people and say, hey, what's up? You want to get this or this and that, or just the I guess kind of the right words to say. It doesn't work all the time, but it's putting yourself out there, and I think maybe I don't know if the same thing happened to you is where you think that you're gonna fail and you think that people are not gonna like it, or sometimes you just don't feel like doing it, and I think that's our worst enemy, that we think that we have all the time in the world, and that's not the case. You know, uh, Time is precious, and we're not always gonna be here, at least physically, and you got to get out there and hustle and use your talents. Use your talents, whatever you think you're good at. I remember that before I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I always wanted to, make money somehow, but I just couldn't think about it, and it's crazy because you know I I I, I like art, DJing, and I just never did anything with that, and I was like, hey man, I need to start doing something with that, and so that's where the shirt business came in. I kind of took it from an old shirt that I had, maybe in my early 20s. I'm not gonna say the brand, but I kind of got the idea from that. It was just, symbols that kind of meant something, and so usually, of course, a lot of the shirts do have writing, but it started with just symbols, and what does that mean? You kind of got to think about it and look at it to realize what it's saying. So that's where I got the idea, and the name of the brand is Motivational Attire.
Yeah. How did you get into art, Jose? You don't mind me asking?
Um, I just sort of one day I just decided, hey, I need to create a shirt out of that. Like, yeah, I mean, it just started with shirts. Now there's different types of clothing in there, but I just remembered that one um, shirt that I had at one time, and I was like, let me create. I want to create something similar, but my own thing. And so I just started sketching and doing different things, and finally, in a few days or in a week, I came up with a thing. I started researching companies that I can print through instead of going, the buying the machine like you did and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Um, that stuff is expensive, and number one, I don't even know how to use that stuff. So not only does it take skill from learning how to do it, but also all the shipping that you're talking about, all that stuff. I don't I don't I do have inventory, but if I don't for some reason, if I run out, I can always get a company and have that company ship it.
Yeah.
And again, the same thing like you know, I started looking up YouTube videos and just the motivation to do something different, and you know, work for myself. I do have a regular job, but you know, it's something that I do on the side, and
Yeah.
it takes time and patience, you know, and that's the main thing that I have to, I guess, kind of give out of advice. But that's how I kind of got it. It was just something that sort of happened. But more of the story behind it was motivational tire was more of the story of like if you got to whatever you believe, you know, if you truly believe that in yourself and the things that you want, you're gonna achieve that. And it's not, you know, it's cliche. A lot of people say that's cliche, but you actually have to do something about it. You know, you can't just sit there and think about it. You know, you have to go out
Yeah.
and do it. And if you want it, it's good. Eventually, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think when I researched it, I was going too fast for what I was ready for. I had the money and I was like, why not? You know, and I bought a heat press, I bought a table, I bought shirts, I bought the printer, I bought the ink. I mean, it was all a big investment, man, and I felt like I was losing because I wasn't advertising. You know, advertising and all of that. That's a different job, man. You know, aside from designing and all of that, you can basically, what I could have done was I can just have some mock-up shirts and then have somebody model them for me or whatever, and then go, you know, advertise from there. And social media was the way to go. I mean, when you don't want to pay for a website, you want to basically advertise the best way you can, and what better way than use Facebook and Instagram and so forth. So that's the route I took. But what made me give up was I used to take it to the flea market, and when I went, you gotta pay like $30 just to have the booth for the whole day. And
Yeah.
when you go to flea market in general, everybody will know that you want to get stuff for cheap. And when you invest into these things, you know, you want to at least break even, if not, you know, go double. So you want to get something. You don't want to just go there and just win $5 for everything that you know. I don't. That was just my way of thinking, and I honestly think it wasn't worth it because when you spend a lot of money on something, you want to at least break even, like I said. But when I was over there, I was selling them at $20 a piece, and these are good designs. You know, I can send you a few samples, but I can even post them, you know, whenever. But anyway, these are good designs, and you know, at least to for quality, you know, it's all about quality. So I thought that they were well worth $20 each, but these people wanted them for two for 10. You know, when you're at the flea market, that's basically
Yeah.
what people want, but they don't think about how much it took you to make these, and you know, you go from there. But it's like, nah, that was losing, so it really unmotivated me to continue to do that. So I was like, the only thing I did was I came all the way down to doing the Rocket shares and Texan shares to whenever they would win. I mean, there's a lot of diehard fans out there, and that's the way that I want to do. Only when they do good. I know they say that when you're a diehard fan, it don't matter when they win or lose, you're still gonna buy their merchandise. So I didn't really think of it like that. I thought about it like when they win, I'll sell big because that's when they're really hyping it up, you know. So when they were winning, I was winning, you know. But I don't know, man. I was always afraid, and honestly, I think. Do you recommend? Because I know Jose that you have a website. Uh, how did you come about, or how long have you had it now? Like since you started your website, man, selling your merchandise on there.
It's for about 3 years. It's motivationalattire.com. It's actually under maintenance right now, but you can go to egwit.com /motivational attire. and you can go there. There's shirts there right now, and you guys can follow me at the Motivational Tire on Facebook. I mean on Instagram and on Facebook, Motivational Tire. Um, but yeah, I've had that the website for quite a bit there, and yeah, it took time to create it, took time to put it together. Uh, it's not really that expensive. It's more of the time that you have to put into putting everything together and coming up with the designs. I mean, everything, pretty much everything I've done myself. So
Yeah.
uh,
For the
it does take time. And like you said, you're right about that flea market thing. It's something that I've actually sold in the flea market. Different things, not shirts, but different things. And that's how it goes. And the key is you have to find the right people to market because
yeah,
like you said, people at the flea market just want things cheap, and they don't understand that the work and the effort you have put into this,
yeah,
your brand.
yeah. I think it also has to do with having a target. I didn't understand that whole in the beginning, but you know where I'm coming from. When you talked about motivation, that's a target for everyone. That you can reach that out to everyone in general because, as everyone knows, there's a lot of negativity in the world, especially this year with this COVID, and it can be something that could always everybody's gonna need motivation, whether you're already happy or not, man. You still need motivation to continue to sell, to continue to believe in yourself, and having a target as far as selling, it's a big deal in my opinion. I think it's a big deal. You have to have things that are current and with motivation all day. To be honest with you, man, you can never go wrong with that, man. That's something that I really admire the subject of that, and that's basically the basis of this episode here, man. To everybody that's trying to, people that are cooks, people that are, everything that you are, keep going for the best of you, and the best of you is putting your talent to the work. Basically, that's what's gonna make a difference in your life when you attempt. Don't give up when you continue to, strive for the best for yourself, for your family. Um, but as far as the website, Jose, do you recommend it, man? Like, do you recommend it to everybody that might be interested in, having a website for their own brand or what?
Um, it depends. What I recommend is that you go by what you think your talent is. To be honest, if it's music, cooking, like you said, art, whatever you think, it's that's what you should focus on. Because if you're not a cook and you're trying to, open up a restaurant and you don't know anything about food, it's going to be difficult, and you're only going to get frustrated. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, I'm not saying I'm not saying don't do it. By all means, go for it. Do whatever you feel that your heart desires. That's the most important thing. But it's always great to use your own talents to your advantage. If you know how to sing or if you know how to do something that's going to create, you know, like they say, your gift or your talent, and I think that's the best thing. If you want to create your brand or your shirts, and that's something that you want to do, yeah, definitely, I recommend. There's a lot of people doing it already, so um, it's a big trend, and I think you guys actually started creating your shirts too as well, right? Recently, so you're kind of getting back into it again, right?
oh yeah, I definitely am, man. I could never lose the passion for art. That's just something that will never leave. Something that describes who I really am. Reaching out to people is the way that I wanna do, and what got me back into it was actually listen to motivational speakers on YouTube. Man, YouTube is so big; it does so much for people all over the world. Whether it be cooking, whether it be downloading a website that teaches you how to draw. I mean, you don't even have to be an artist in order to put your designs out there, man. That's one thing that people got to realize. You can just use letters and words and just motivate people the way you are, man. This is It's there's so many things that you can do, man. But as far as the designs that I'm getting back into, it's just something that I need to. I'm putting myself in other people's shoes where they think that they're gonna fail by making a website and all of that, and I think it'll be worth it when I when I do that because Jose, I found a website, man, an app that has because I like to design landscapes, things that have to do with outer space, planets, just different things in general, and and I found that there's an app called Printify, and it actually it's a print on demand. So basically, you just make your design, and then they can put it on canvases. Because that's what I want to do. I want to also put it on shirts, hoodies, and caps and stuff like that. But canvases, I heard, people buy canvases when they go to Hobby Lobby and this and that. But I want to go like a step further by making planets or just something at night that you can always look and just different things, man. But that was the route. I don't know if you heard of that, Jose, but that's something that I was thinking about doing before I attempt to actually finally do a website, man. But have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's a great idea. That would be awesome. Your own art on canvas like that. I think that's definitely a great idea. Yeah, a Printify is one of the major big ballers, I guess you would say, in the printing and I guess drop shipping as well and all that stuff.
Yeah,
If you guys look at all that drop shipping stuff, that's kind of the trend right now. With I mean, you could sell anything, guys. I mean, whatever you want, whatever you want. You can have your own, 99 cent store online. You could have, whatever you want to sell, hats, bracelets, anything, even supplements. Put your name on it, your brand on it,
yeah.
and just put it out there, and it can happen. But that's a great idea. I like that the canvas stuff,
That
and I
way,
definitely
yeah, that
think you
way
should do.
you don't feel like you're losing by printing so much inventory and not selling anything. Because a lot of times what I would do is I would print 30 to start, 30 shirts, and people would say, yeah, buy it and this and that. But it's like, are you really going to buy it or am I going to be chasing you in order for you to buy it? And I didn't like doing that, man. That's why, like, printing on demand sounds like something that I would definitely do because you're giving the design a shot, a design that I feel like it is gonna hit. It's gonna be a big hit, and then we'll see how it goes. But I want to do at least 10, man, to start and see how it goes, man. But that's something I'm thinking about doing, man. But
Yeah, I think that's a good start there. That I think I recommend everyone to start that way. So you don't need but probably $200 to
yeah,
open up your own business right now with all these drop shipping things going on and I recommend that people start like that instead of buying inventory and things like that because if you like you said if you keep all that inventory and you don't sell it that's just going to bring you down and of course you're supposed to keep going and keep strong but hey we're only humans so
yeah, that's
it
true.
happens
But I
it
think
definitely
also, as you would agree, Jose, everything happens through for you learning the hard way, man. You'll never know unless you try it. And if you try it, you might blow up, man. You might be the one teaching us how to do this or how to do that. And that's the good thing about taking a chance. Everybody wants to call it a risk. It might be for some people, but for most, it should be more like taking a chance because, like you said, man, if you never try it, you'll never know how you can end up at the end, man. And that's why there's people that teach you that on YouTube, man. Like people that actually been through it. You might be more safer by reading reviews. Like they do online when you buy something on Amazon versus learning it on YouTube. Man, for me, I'd rather hear it from somebody I know and that is going through it and knows that I can trust that person that is dealing with that, then I can learn from that. and that's why I wanted to give you guys this video, by the way. But how you said you've been having that website for 3 years? How long have you been drawing them?
Um, Actually, that's more like graphic designing. I don't even. I think maybe I started messing with it in my early 30s or something like that,
Okay.
and then I used that to my advantage afterwards. But drawing, I used to draw since I was, like I said, like maybe second or third grade. I used to draw the all the Ninja Turtles and all the little
Yeah.
cartoon characters and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again,
Um.
I get up after a certain point, maybe in my early 20s, and then kind of got back into the, I guess, art or graphic designing kind of thing. And like you said, it's not complicated. It's not anything complicated. I mean, it
Oh.
could be something simple. You make it look decent or cool, and if it appeals to someone, and they say, hey man, I like that, um, then they'll go for it. You know,
Oh yeah.
they
It's
want to probably getting into like a little more graphical, cool design. So me and you kind of talked about that, and we'll chat, some other time about that. But yeah, I mean,
I'm really also trying to expand, man. What I've been doing lately was making logos for people, man. Making what you call it, business cards for people. I've been sending a few, and I was making the designs, and to me, it's like I don't like overpricing my designs to people because I want to be referred to other people as well. Because there's a lot of people that try to take advantage of other people and they try to do, okay, well, give me like $300 for something that looks like it's. I mean, look at the Texans logo, for example, man. To me, it looks like a little kid drew that, man. And they just tilted it to look like it's going sideways a little bit. It's just weird, man. But people make millions of dollars just by putting a logo on a cap, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how you can blow up by just a simple. It can be a silhouette, man. A silhouette with letters next to it, and that's it. That's something that could lift you for the rest of your life, man. But yeah, you don't even have to be an artist, man, in order to sell good things, man. Great things that can even like you, man. Giving motivational phrases on shirts, man. I don't think you could ever go wrong, man. But that's the kind of motivation we want to give everyone out there listening. And they don't even have to be on shirts. Like I said, it can be cooking, it can be sewing clothes, having your own clothing line, anything like that in general. It's a beauty, man. It's a beauty. It's all about giving the giving it a chance. I mean, money comes and goes, man. You might as well invest it, because you never know what it could bring back for you and your family. But anyway, I will be advertising my friend Jose's website, by the way, as he will tell you here in a bit. But my closing words for this episode would be: if any of you guys need a logo done or anything like that, I will post my email in the description as well as my Instagram. I really don't give my Facebook out that much because it's more personal stuff. But in case you do want to follow me, I wouldn't mind, giving it out. But any closing words on your side, Jose?
yeah, kind of going back to the motivational thing. It doesn't just apply to, I guess, business or creating motivation. I want to say that it all starts from the way you live, and I guess always trying to stay positive. Keep all that fighting and negativity out of your life, and try to live a good life and be a good person, as good as you can. I'll of course don't let people take advantage of you, but always stay positive, stay motivated, dedicated, and the future is eventually gonna be bright for you. So that's what I want to say. And other than that, you guys can go check me out at Motivational Attire on Facebook, The Motivational Attire on Instagram, and motivationalattire.com, the website.
Good
But
stuff.
and I thank you guys for inviting me out here. This is great, and I'm proud of being part of this.
Yeah, good stuff, Jose. Good stuff, man. By the way, appreciate you coming on, Jose, and giving the people motivational words that they need to hear, especially for myself, man. By the way, for the Facebook people that wanted to know, I haven't yet made a page for my Facebook. I'm still working on my personal logo because I'm very picky. But again, appreciate you coming on, Jose, and hope everybody has a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, guys.